We're teaming up to talk about Lifewave and possibly this. We might be qualified, or we're becoming qualified to take a trip to Hawaii. We just have a few more points so that Daniela can come along. I wouldn't want to go without her, but if you want to join up, apparently, according to Dr. Stacy, she had some people join Lifewave and they won the trip in like 2 days. You want to tell about it?
Yeah. So first of all, there are 4 different point tiers in order to earn. So Ellie, you have already earned the trip for yourself. Check. You're going to get your airfare paid is the next tier. To be able to take Daniela with you is the following tier, and then to have her flight taken care of as well too is the 4th. So you're on your way there. The first box is checked. We're just working on the last 3 boxes. So we do have 2 men in our organization. One man earned the trip for his wife and his all the airfare. So all 4 boxes ticked in 2 hours. Now, I'll be honest with you, he had been working for a couple weeks before that and had all these people lined up, and they were going to launch their business together on that first day of December. So they did. They all came in together, a bunch of friends, family members, people that were all going to get started on the product. So they earned that trip on day 1 in 2 hours. The other couple, they did not do it that way, but they had a similar situation where they were looking for a home. They were looking for a company to partner with. So they did bring some brand partners from their other company over with them. And they all came on board. And within 2 days, he and his wife earned all of those 4 levels. So they earned the trip for both of them in 2 days. Now, we have plenty of time to earn the trip. The trip is always like an 18-week qualification. And we have people that come in and earn it right now. We'll have people in the next 4 weeks. We have 4 weeks to earn the trip. So we'll have people that come in and earn it in the next 4 weeks. We'll have people that earn it in the last week before it's over. Because it's honestly, it's easy to earn the trip if you focus on the main focus of Lifewave, which is helping people use this product, helping people get the patch, helping them order, right, to get their patch, get connected to you guys. So when people order through you, you earn points for them ordering the Lifewave patches. If they upgrade their account, right, they save more money when they upgrade with their next purchase, and then you earn more points for that as well too. And you have a team of people that are sharing now as well. So you're actually earning points for them growing their business, for them bringing people in and generating the volume that's coming in through them. So, and you've ranked up. You've went up in the company several ranks in the last several months. So that's exciting. So you earn points that way as well too. So the company likes to do all expense paid trips, 2 of them for anybody twice a year. So we're actually leaving next weekend to go out of Miami on a cruise to the Bahamas. It's a Royal Caribbean, huge ship, the Wonder of the Seas. So we're going to take out next week. That was an incentive that was happening, incentive trip that we were qualifying for last year before conference. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to turn around and we're going to go to Hawaii, all of us together in May. And then later this year, they'll have another incentive trip that's announced that we'll take that later on in the year, like in November is when we usually do that. So the company likes to reward anybody and everybody. It's not about rank. It's about how many people you help. So that's going to be exciting. Honolulu, Hawaii, on the ocean.
So exciting.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited. I mean, Danielle's been signing up people. We've been experimenting with a lot of different patches lately. Again, we found Eon to be an amazing patch. We won some free sleeves of glutathione, so we're
very excited about that.
We're heavily working on the glutathione. Anything else you were working on?
No, just I noticed that I really enjoyed the Eon more because I've taken it like the first time months ago, and I didn't really feel anything, probably because I didn't think to put it on my back because I would have the ice wave and stuff, and then the Eon works way better than the ice wave, I think,
at reducing inflammation.
Yeah, I can feel. Yeah.
Yeah, she feels the patches right away when but she's very unusual that way. She's very sensitive to these kinds of things, very sensitive to food. She can eat something and right away she knows whether or not the food was good for her or not. And
Mm-hmm.
so she has a kind of a super sensitivity to these things, but she feels the patches. She feels SP6, the endocrine
Yeah.
one. She feels it right away. So, I have her as like a living testimony that these products really work, and they're not. It's not just airy fairy. You stick on a band-aid and everything. But I will say, and I want to ask you about this. It seems to me that a person has to be somewhat elevated in order to experience the benefits of LifeWave. In other words, if they're sort of blocked diet wise, or if they don't keep a healthy, I mean, would somebody who is living an unhealthy, let's say unhealthy lifestyle, I hate to say it, but would they be able to experience the benefits? I'm just asking, I guess.
That's a great question. I get asked that question all the time because people think, well, I'm not eating the way I should be. My lifestyle choices aren't up to par right now. I'm going to wait until I get my stuff together before I decide to start patching. And honestly, Ellie, there's no rhyme or reason. We have people that are sick, sick, sick. I mean, really sick. We have people that are uber, super, super healthy. We have people that are old. We have people that are young. We have every nationality, every color, every, male, female, whatever you are, he, they, whatever, whatever. All of the above. There's no rhyme or reason to who gets results in what time frame. We know for a fact that people that don't put this on don't get results. Okay? That's the key indicator. You don't put it on your body, you will never get results from it. But we do see that people come to LifeWave very healthy, like myself, like yourself. We're good to go, right? Just looking for that longevity. You've got more energy, you got better sleep now, you recover faster, you can do more fitness wise. But we also, unfortunately, see more people that aren't like us. We see more people that have serious health issues. They have the long list of the diagnosis or the conditions, the symptoms, the issues they're dealing with. I call it a grocery list of problems. And they have a lot of medications, they have a lot of surgeries and things they've had or experiencing, dealing with, and they're in bad shape. They're in really bad shape. And their lifestyle choices aren't great because they don't sleep. They have so much pain, they can't sleep through the night. Their mental faculties are in the toilet. So they're not making good choices because they just don't feel good. Even if they're trying to do the best they can, right? Maybe they can't afford super healthy, organic, clean food, water, personal care products, cleaning products, right? They still get great results. It's kind of crazy because what happens is when you put the patch on, your body knows what to do. It's smart, but these peptides in our stem cells, they decline as we age. And so when you elevate them, that triggers the body to go, wait, whoa, whoa, yes, hey, we used to do that. Let's do that again. Yeah, let's clear stuff out. Let's get rid of some of these toxins. Let's help our mitochondrial function. Let's reduce some inflammation in the body. Let's help these people get out of pain. Let's help them sleep through the night. Let's increase their immune function. Oh my gosh, we're reducing their pain. Woo! Now they can actually think straight and they start making better choices. They have more energy, they feel better, and they're going for walks or maybe swims or maybe attending a Pilates or a yoga class. They're choosing healthier foods on their plate versus the processed packaged crap that they were just shoving in because they felt like crap, right? That's not even food. And so those choices and those changes evolve over time. So these people that are not healthy, that don't make good choices, that are on medications, and even if they do, for example, I had a lady on my last Zoom. She was on a prescription medication for her thyroid for 40 years.
Oh my
Now she
God.
made healthy lifestyle choices, right? She's a fit woman. She still ended up coming off of that medication after 10 months of using the patch, and now a year later still off of it, lost a little bit of weight. She didn't need to lose much, but she lost a little bit. Fit as she could be at 70 years old. 40 years on a medication, gone after 10 months. So, still healthy person, but yet body not functioning optimally. and she's reversed aged. I mean, she looks completely different than she did when
Wow.
she started patching almost 2 years ago. So hopefully that answers your question. But I can't say that if you're not healthy, it's not going to work for you, because unfortunately, especially here in America, most people aren't healthy, Ellie. You and I know that. They're not. And no shame to anyone at all, not to make anybody feel bad or judge them. It is what it is. Whether you had an accident, an injury, maybe there's something emotional, trauma, I don't know. But I do know that these patches help people physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, but they don't work if you don't put them on your body.
Right.
Well, that's great. That's interesting. Yeah, maybe okay. So maybe I was thinking in terms of like a kind of a mental, like a spiritual energy. Like if you feel like something's not going to work, maybe it's not going to
Mm.
work. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. So let me answer this. This is fun too. I love these kind of questions. These are those objections people get. Well, it's not going to work because I don't believe in it. I don't think it's going to work. I love skeptical people. We hear from them all the time, and they'll start out by saying, "I was a skeptic. I didn't believe in it, and my so and so made me wear it. My mom, my cousin, my spouse, whatever. And I fine, whatever. Put it on." Right? They're like resistant. So here's the thing, we do have double blind placebo controlled studies that are peer reviewed, the highest level of scrutiny. You don't get a double blind placebo controlled study that says you have a statistical significant improvement in people's outcomes unless they do. Like they either do or they don't. And so that, number one, is in existence. We have many double blind. I actually just sent the ones to a lady on a text a minute ago for a cardiologist. It's super interested in this technology. She's like, "What should I send him?" I said, double blind, placebo controlled, peer reviewed studies. He's a cardiologist. He's going to want to see facts, right? He may not want to see a testimonial on day one about someone's heart health improvement. Now, of course, I have interviewed a few different cardiologists, so we can send that information as well. But I will tell you that the biggest indicator for people is with animals. There is no placebo with an animal. It just doesn't happen. They don't have that capability to be like, "Oh yeah, I feel good now. My pain's gone. Oh yeah, I'm sleeping through the night." Like no dog is going to do that, right? No horse is going to be that horse. They're either in pain and something's wrong or they're not. And so if you go to YouTube, you can type in like "horses don't lie," and you can see YouTube videos of people that have patched horses. They show you right there live. They'll run their hands down the horse. The horse will jump like when there's a spot that is in pain or whatever,
Yeah.
out of whack, whatever. And then they'll put the patches on, and then they'll do the exact same thing seconds later, and there's no reaction. And so we have veterinarians that 100% are doing videos out there. We also have a veterinarian that's written a book, no needles, no pain, something, all different types of animals, and using the different patches on the animals. Now, we do have a specific patch for the animals called AccuLife. It's the same as your Icewave that you mentioned that gets rid of pain. But you can use other patches on your pets as well, too. But we know that there's no placebo with an animal. So when you show someone videos of these animals and their results, veterinarians and their personal experience with animals, we have recordings of people in shelters, animal shelters, where animals have been abused, and the healing that takes place in their body and the recovery and the normalcy of these animals afterwards is miraculous. So I will say those two things. If you don't believe that it works, then put it on. Because if you can stay consistent with putting it on, even though you don't believe that it works, you'll find out that it does, because things will change. That compound effect is real. Most people see results in 3 to 6 weeks, like the pain reduction, the better quality of sleep, mental energy, focus, clarity, physical energy, faster wound healing. But we really don't see those compound effects start to kick in until that 6-week mark. Well, we can see changes in digestion, immune system, changes in the brain and the neurological system and the balancing, the anxiety and stress reduction. We can see changes in the cardiovascular system as early as 6 weeks. But again, that compound effect really goes out, looking at that 90-day mark. What's changed inside with the collagen structure inside of the body increasing and things metabolically being reset? And how does that even happen? Because the body knows how to heal itself. This activates the body's ability to do that in a way that's non-invasive. It's not putting anything in the body. So there is no skeptic out there that put the patch on and stayed consistent with the patch every day and didn't come back to say, Well, I didn't think that was going to work, but here I am, no longer needing hip surgery, or here I am, no longer on XYZ medications, or here I am, happy as a lark, sleeping through the night. I turned a skeptic into a believer. That happens all the time, Ellie. It really does. So you can't go, well, it's my mind. I just thought that it would help me out. People see it in their blood work.
So I have a question. So about you already answered my what I was going to talk about, the animal for the patches for the animal, but because one of the ladies that emailed me, she said that you said about about putting the patches on their hair, it still works.
Yeah, there was a lady with the cat, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because why wouldn't we put it on our hair
You
also?
can put it on your hair if you want. That's not going to feel good ripping it off. Ask any man.
Because I was gonna, but why would it be good to put on the animal versus us? I don't know.
So when you look at a pet,
Yeah.
there are a few spots on an animal that there's not hair, right?
Yeah.
Unless you got a hairless cat. But most animals have hair, and so you just stick it on their hair. But then most animals also don't like things on their body, especially cats, right? They can reach every part of their body. Their head spins around like an owl. So I told her, if she allows it to be stuck on her fur, that's perfectly fine. It's working. Your body's heat comes off of your body, whether you're an animal or a person, 2 to 4 inches. So as long as the patch is within a 2 to 4 inch proximity, it's going to be activated. But I said, if she doesn't allow it on her fur because she tries to clean herself and get rid of it, then just tape it to the collar, or even maybe a little bandana where she can't reach it or can't get it off, right? Same thing with dogs. People put the patches on their dog's bandana, on their dog's collar. They just put a little piece of tape around it. As long as it's within that 2 to 4 inches of the dog's body, cat's body. With horses, they could care less. Like, they're not reaching anything on their body. Their feet are on the ground. They're not going to lift a leg and scratch something off. So, cows, horses, it doesn't happen that way. So you can stick it wherever you want. It's never coming off. But when we look at, those dogs and cats, sometimes their fur, they don't like it on their fur. So you might have to be creative and put it on the collar or bandana. Right. But with us, you can put it on your head if you want, on top of your hair. Just know it's a Band-Aid. It's tape.
Yeah, tape.
You pull it off your body and you're like, okay, I got it off. But when you put it on your hair, that won't feel good ripping that off.
No.
Same thing with my son. He puts his patches on his hips because there's no hair over there. Or I have other men that put them only on like the inside of their ankles because there's no hair on the inside of their ankles. Unless you want to shave the spot, which you can shave a spot on your pet, but again, you have to want to leave it. It's a good question though.
What about the Alavita for you?
Oh yeah, I'm using Alavita during the day now because it had the effect. It seemed to keep me up. In the beginning I was sleeping very soundly, and then it seemed to be like my body's very sensitive. The patches are very. My body reacts. I'm not like Daniela where I feel them. Well, I do feel them. Like when I put them in the morning.
Now you do.
Yeah, when I put them on the first thing in the morning before drinking water or anything, I put on the patches, and I can kind of feel a kind of an electricity, a kind of a, I wonder if it doesn't activate aspects of your soul, of the light within, through this phototherapy. It's a very interesting technology, but I do feel it. But it's taken me years to get to that point where I feel it directly. But I'm using Alavita during the day because I found it kept me up a little bit at night.
So when you look at Alavita, it elevates the peptide, the epithalamin peptide in the pineal gland. One of the benefits of the epithalamin peptide is an increase in melatonin, which is why we recommend it at night. So if you can use it during the day, perfectly fine, as long as it's not making you tired. It's not a huge elevation of melatonin, but that's why a lot of people use it at night. But elevating the epithalamin peptide, what the pineal gland does. Right. So, of course, that would be why you feel that way. People say they have more vivid dreams, deeper connections, 100%, you could notice that with the Alavita because of just that peptide alone. But it is the big longevity peptide, reducing oxidative inflammatory stress, improving collagen production, skin improvements. You know, when you look at the lines, the wrinkles, and the sagginess, and the scars, and the moles, and the crepiness, and all that kind of stuff with skin that happens as we age. So there's a lot of other benefits for Alavita, but definitely that decalcification of that pineal gland and the improvement in the telomerase production is going to have huge longevity benefits.
Yeah, it's yeah, my I'm definitely dreaming. I wasn't really dreaming before
Mm.
using the patches. Now my dreams are fairly vivid and somewhat interesting, I
Yeah, mine
guess.
too. You wake up and you're like, wait, what? Where am I at? What am I doing? Who
Right.
are these people with me? Why am I here? Me
Oh,
too. The dreams are crazy. Sorry, go
so,
ahead,
so
Danielle.
could so could we also talk about the brain health with the autism? What
So when we,
patches?
yep. So when we look at the brain, just anything at all with the brain, the X39, we can start to see some changes in 3 weeks. When we look at the EEGs, the brain mapping, we can see a brain that's red, hot, fiery, not coherent, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. About 3 weeks in, we start to see that change where we can see the colors change in the brain mapping, right? It comes out in colors when you look at the brain. And we can see more of blues, some more greens and yellows. And then you look at 6 weeks and there's a dramatic difference in the brain. And so we can see a reduction in stress, reduction in anxiety, improvement in the coherence of the left brain, right brain communicating, means less anxiety, improved cognition, better memory, better focus, concentration. That's why we talk about that with X39.
Mm.
This patch elevates GHK-Cu copper peptide. GHK crosses the blood-brain barrier. It's a massive antioxidant, neuroprotective, anti-inflammatory peptide. It's huge what it does in the brain. So 100%, if anything with the brain, this would be your patch, right? I mean, X39 is always the patch we start with no matter what, but that's your number one brain patch, okay? Now, there are 3 other patches that do have really significant benefits for the brain as well. The second one being Eon. As I
Mhm.
mentioned, Eon reduces inflammation, right? And
Yeah.
inflammation, neuroinflammation, inflammation in the body is always going to be a problem. So it's going to help reduce inflammation, but Eon also helps bring the nervous system into a parasympathetic state. So our nervous system, right? That stress, anxiety, fear, worry, fight or flight mode, like, right? That causes the body to not be able to heal itself. It puts the body in a fear, panic mode state to where everything else shuts down. Okay. And a lot of people run around in that state. So, what Eon does is it helps bring that body into the calm, rest, relaxed state, that parasympathetic nervous system. We're fine. It's okay. It's safe. Happy patch is what we call it.
Mhm.
So Eon not only helps reduce inflammation in the body systemically, but it also helps bring the nervous system into balance, into regulation. So nervous system regulation is key for healing, period, but it's very important for the brain. So when you look at being able to focus and concentrate and stay calm and engaged, then Eon is incredible to add an addition to the X39. So we call that our dynamic duo. The other 2 that have brain benefits are going to be carnosine. Carnosine is a big antioxidant in your body, and we can elevate our own carnosine. And carnosine loves the brain. It loves other parts of the body too, but it really loves the brain. So left brain, right brain hemisphere improvement in the cognition, communication in the brain, and being able to help those executive functions. And then the other one is X49. X49 is the patch that elevates the daughter peptide to X39. So X39 elevates GHK, X49 elevates AHK. AHK also loves the brain. So we can see neurological benefits when you elevate AHK. And so being able to use those patches in conjunction would be perfectly fine. A lot of people do 39, 49 during the day. They'll do Eon carnosine at night. Make sure if you are plant-based that you have some kind of beta alanine supplement that you are taking, because carnosine and X49 both, that A in the AHK stands for alanine. You need beta alanine in order for that peptide to be complete. And so you are not getting it if you have a plant-based diet. So if you're eating meat, then you're fine. But for people out there that aren't, you're not going to have the success with the X49 and the carnosine that you could or should if you were having beta alanine in your diet. So make sure you know that. And we also know with the brain needs fat. It needs good, healthy fats, no matter what age you are, little to old. I started my son on omega-3 little essential fatty acids. I couldn't get my 2-year-old to eat fish. Imagine that. So I started him on these little, little gummy chewy things that he would eat. He still takes omega-3s. He still doesn't like fish. Like every once in a while, he might have a little fish, but he's going to eat a steak. That's going to be his choice. Eggs, bison, right? I just ordered him some yak the other day from a farmer. I was like, okay, that sounds good. We'll see what you think. But looking at the brain needs good, healthy fats, and it needs good protein. It doesn't need sugar. It doesn't need all of the rice and the pasta and the cookies and the cakes and the oatmeal and the cereals, the fake foods, that are in packages in the middle aisles of the grocery store. It doesn't need that. That's not going to help the brain to stay calm and focused. We know that, especially when we look at kids and we look at those red dyes, yellow dye, blue dye, like all the candy, all the crap, all the fake food. And you can see kids go, wee, and they just zing off into, nowhere land. And they're doing nothing fast because they're just, they're crazy. And then you can see a kid that eats healthy, calm, nourished foods. And then they're like, oh, focused, calm, healthy, nourished child. So we've got to do our part as parents to feed them correctly as well, right? We can't expect the patch to fix poor nutrition. And as a child, they don't get to choose. You choose as their parent. And that's a big thing we have to be responsible for, for our kids, is that we're feeding them the right things to help nourish their little brains, and that we as adults are feeding our brains the right things to nourish our brains.
So for an autistic child or autistic adult, it would be X39, Eon, carnosine, and X49.
Yeah, we don't have any studies on kids. So we only have studies on adults, and we can see in adults changes in the neurological system with those 4 different patches differently. They don't have to all 4 be worked to have results, but they can be used individually. They can be used together synergistically. So if it was my mom, for example, that was dealing with neurological things, I'd throw on all 4 of them. Like I said, 39, 49 during the day, Eon and carnosine at night. But everybody's different. You make your own decision. No matter what, I would always start with X39. And I would always add Eon at the same time personally, no matter what. But that's a personal choice what you want to do. Remember, it only works if you put it on the body. It doesn't work in the package.
And also, just for review, if you were vaccine injured, or if you took the vax and you want to counteract some of the symptoms or some of the effects from it, you would also recommend 39, Eon, in that order. Like first start with X39, then add Eon to reduce inflammation, then X49 would be
then glutathione.
Glutathione, the master antioxidant. Yeah, that's what we're heavy into glutathione.
Yeah, you are now, because you got a lot of free ones.
Right, we're set.
Yeah.
So those 3 for vaccine injuries: X39, Eon, and glutathione.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
And if you can only do one, just get the X39 again and get your stem cells working and stimulated, and you can go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Well, just send me a message, email, text, if you want to order through Danielle or through Ellie. Or, of course, you can reach out to them directly. But we do all work together. And then tonight, I have my last Zoom in the 4-part series on brain health. We're going to wrap it up. And then next week, the next 2 weeks, I'm interviewing different doctors that focus in on brain health in their practice and how they utilize this technology in their practice with their patients. So we'll be discussing that the next 2 weeks. And we'll be diving into heart health on Wednesday.
And that's drstacyzoom.com, 8 p.m. Eastern time, both Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday is more for everyone, and Wednesday is more if you're interested in
patching party.
Yeah, patching party.
Yeah. You're going to hear some testimonials from some people.
Yeah,
gonna be great.
Danielle, we're hoping we'll get home in time. We have to do some things, but we're hoping we get home in time for the patching party.
It'll be fun.
All right. Well, thank you so much
Thank you,
for
Dr.
coming
Susie.
to our station, and we really appreciate all your hard work and information. And just have a great day. Say hi to your family, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
day,
We'll see you
everyone.
soon.
Thanks,
See
Dr.
you soon.
Stacy.
Thank
All
you.
right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.